read the worst BL Manhwa, so you didn't have to. Genuinely, what is going on? That is the comment that this lady has made, and I am in fact scared of what is coming. Really scared, because like the last time we had BL, it was an incest story, so this won't get any better. So your dad brought a child's fever. Eat chicken soup. I will eat you. All right, we'll jump in. We'll jump in. This is by Noirii. I think that's how you say it. Also, please consider like and subscribing. And here we go. Let's hear it and let's see it.
Be with me and you can enjoy it, or you're gonna get graped and you're not gonna get that scholarship. So you guys really
Huh? Huh? You get what, or you don't get your scholarship? Where are we going with this? Yes, SA, a classic in yaoi. But it's cute because they love each other, actually. I remember how people were like mostly mentally ill women who are into Yuri, right? Not normal Yuri enjoyers, but like mentally ill Yuri enjoyers. Who are like, oh, that's a great representation for Yuri. And like, you know what they showed? An anime where a girl gets pursued by another girl, right? But like in a very aggressive and abusive manner. But look, they're so in love. Yes, she forces herself on the other girl. But yeah, lovely.
love when I go over bad manhwas, whether that's because they're problematic issues in the story, whether it's because the bad art style. And today when I was scrolling on TikTok, I came across this video. And I was
See, the problematic stuff isn't bad, right? I'm not gonna be sitting here like, oh, it's so bad, it's so bad, it's so bad, right? The abuse, right? That's not the problem, right? If you want to watch that, you're a weirdo, but I think you should be allowed to, right? And people should be allowed to make it. I'm like pure freedom when it comes to that, no censorship. My problem is a different one. Is when it's straight up ass, dog shit, horse doo doo. That's when I have a problem, right? It's not really the issue like that it exists, right? If you want to enjoy your grape yaoi manhwa, go ahead. I don't care. Whatever I care. You want your incest sibling story? Go ahead. I'm not stopping you. But like, if it's horseshit, then we have a problem.
like, what is that? And you know, as me, I go over these manhwas that are deemed as bad, and I'm going to tell you if it's actually really bad or if people are just haters. And I also would love to know your guys' opinions about these two. I'm going to be doing two manhwas that are considered.
I thought we were going over one. That's two, my guy. Oh, my girl here. Guys, girls, everything. Those are two. Oh god.
Bad because both of these manhwas are only 3 chapters long. In the previous stories that I did like this, people were saying that they're bad on purpose. I don't know if these are bad on purpose or if they're just not good. But with that being said, let's get into the stories. So the first one we're going to be going over today is called Booty Work, and it's
What? What? Booty work. Yeah, we know where that's going. Idubs. Yo, Idubs. He might be running towards me right now for his booty works.
WURK, not WORK. There's going to be 2 main characters for this story. One's going to be called Dorito and one's going to be called Elbow. I know these names are kind of crazy this time, but trust you'll understand. So the story starts with Elbow getting put into this room and a guy saying that like he'll be staying here. And then we find out that Elbow is a dancer. And I guess Elbow is pretty bored, so he decides he wants to leave his room and explore. But as soon as he leaves his room, Dorito walks in, but Dorito does not acknowledge.
And he's going to explore him, isn't he? Or his holds at this point. Fucking Dorito.
Elbow. He just walks past and is like, I'm gonna go take a shower really quick. And while Dorito's taking the shower, he leaves the door open, and this makes Elbow like starts blushing, and Elbow is thinking about his body, looking at his body. And when
yeah, that's the most normal thing ever. A man says he takes a shower, lets his door open. The first thing I think about is him naked. I think about gay. I mean, even as a straight dude, right? It's like, I wouldn't, like, if a woman goes into her apartment says she takes a shower and lets the door open, my first instinct is to close that door. Because if it's open, it's not only me that knows of it, but people that pass by could know of it. So I would close it. That may make an uncomfortable sound, but I'm closing that door. I'm not thinking of, yes, sex.
And Dorito comes out, he's on this chair, and he's kind of like, are you gonna change your outfit? Are you gonna go to sleep in that? To Elbow, and Elbow is like, okay, I'm gonna go change my stuff. So that is exactly what Elbow does. Elbow goes over to his bag and he changes his clothes. And after he's done changing his clothes, for no reason, Dorito attacks Elbow. Like, it just, out of nowhere, like, I didn't get any hints that this was gonna happen. He just walked over and, like, slapped him and pinned him on the bed. And while this is happening, we get information that Dorito is the son of the chairman that is sponsoring El.
A woman made this. A woman made this. By the story, I can already assume and know a woman made this. I'm sorry, but it's true. What the fuck? Yeah, slap. Yeah, it's over. Wait, this is like not even late after, right? Bro took a shower and now he's getting raped. That's crazy. What are these? Who makes these? Who makes these? Who does these? What's the context? We're looking at a horrible manhwa. We're looking at a horrible manhwa. And out of nowhere, dude just gets assaulted.
Scholarship. So like from the beginning, we're already having like this weird power balance dynamic that I hate in manhwas, where one person is struggling financially and the other person is rich and they're like using his power over. Like, I hate this trope in BL so much, and this is like, it's only 3 chapters and this is already.
I'm going to say something very controversial. A lot of BL anything is just a fetish. It's just a fetish. And you can tell especially that it's a fetish here. Because you don't care about the story. You just want 2 dudes to have sex. So many freaky people making manhwa, correct.
Like, so yeah, basically back to the story. Dorito has Elbows pinned to the bed and he's like hitting him. And then he gives Elbows a choice. And Dorito is kind of like, you either can get freaky with me and you can enjoy it, or you're going to get raped and you're not going to get that scholarship.
That is just fucking insane. Who makes these? Who makes these? I can understand. Their face is understandable. Who makes these? Who's like sitting down, right? Who's sitting down, right? By the way, not AI generated. Who sits down? Not only writes it, but frickin' draws it too. Frickin' draws it too. Who does this? Don't laugh, you freak. I am the freak. The bitch that drew this and wrote the story is a freak. It's crazy, dude. Ah, yes. That's pretty normal, right? First you see a dude, like, you know, a dude is showering and fantasizing about him, and then he just assaults you and shoves his dick in you. Nope.
And that's exactly where the story ends. It's only 3 chapters, and this is the bull that just came out of the 3 chapters. Only 3 chapters in, and this might be, I don't want to compare it to Jinx, but like, now with this story, I really did try to give it the benefit of the doubt that it has a bad art style. For some reason, when some stories have bad art styles, I kind of feel bad for it, and then I try to give it a chance. But this, it's not getting no chance. So yeah, I'm disappointed in this manhwa. I kind of already knew. Well, I didn't know it was going to be toxic, but like, no. So the next manhwa we're going to be going over for today is called
My girl, where's the conclusion? I wanted to see what happens. Right, you already got my morbid curiosity. Now I want to know if he actually does it. I'm disappointed. How dare you?
Ideal height. I have seen TikToks about this manhwa a couple of times, and I always thought like people were hating on it because of the art style. And I think the art style is alright. I don't think it's like one of the best art styles, and I don't think it's the worst. I just think that they overly make them too pretty to the point where they're not pretty anymore. But let's get into this plot. So the renames for these characters, there's going to be 3 characters. If I can speak, there's going to be 3 characters we are going to rename. One's going to be called Blush, one's going to be called Titan, and one's going to be called Freckles. So the story starts with a group of students talking about how they're coming back to school from a break. And I think they're coming back from summer break because they're talking about how it's a new year. Like a new school year. And we find out our main character Blush, he's a smarty pants, he always gets good grades, and he's always the top of his class, and he's also the youngest senior in this school. And he talks about one of his goals he wants to do before he goes to college is have like a high school relationship. While we're getting
Why don't you just, I have a question. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. It's a dude, right? But you made him so feminine that, like, it's not really boy love anymore. That's just a chick with a dick. What the fuck? Wait, what the fuck is that? He looks like a woman. He looks like a girl. He looks like a girl. It's a girl. That's a girl. That's a girl. That's a female enough. The definition of female enough. He looks like he has layers upon layers of makeup on. It's the female enough. The definition of female enough, though. It's like you can't even go further than this. This is the most female enough I've ever seen.
This little introduction, we see a scene of another character, like the back of their head. They're getting talked to by the principal, and I guess they're getting their schedule. And then the story goes back to Blush and Freckles is kind of like consoling Blush because Blush is crying for some reason. And in the middle of
Bro, he's not crying. Bro is not crying. Those aren't tears. At least not tears of sadness. That what is crying. There's something else I've seen that before. That goes for somewhere else. That man is not crying. That's crazy.
Freckles consoling Blush. Freckles just gets mad at Blush because he thinks Blush is lying about why he's crying. Freckles thinks Blush is crying over a guy that he has a crush on. And then Freckles kind of spots that Blush has like a kiss mark on his cheek. And
what?
Blush explains that this girl gave him a kiss on the cheek, but the girl that gave him the kiss on the cheek is the girlfriend of the person that Blush likes. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically the ops is giving Blush a kiss on the face. And while this is happening, we see Titan walking down the school hallways, and we find out that Titan was the person that was getting the schedule. I guess this is his first day at the school, like as a new student. And he's kind of mad about the uniform of the school. He's saying it's like too hot right now, and he's lost right now. He's supposed to be looking for a tour guide that the principal assigned to him, but he can't find this person. And like the halls are empty, so he's just alone looking for his classes and where to go. So now he's like irritated. And for some reason, Blush is not in class. He's at his locker with a ladder because he's too short to reach his locker. And this story does a good job of keep reminding us that Blush is just so tiny and petite and so small compared to everybody else.
That's crazy. I can't even take the story seriously with the art style. I can't even take the story seriously with that story. Were you just like, see, I can't draw women, so I'm just gonna draw a feminine man? Like, what the actual heck? Where are we going with this?
He has a ladder, like he pulled it out of nowhere. He just has a ladder for his locker, and basically he's looking at his little plushie that he likes to look at for good luck. And Titan finds Blush. You know, Titan, like as I said, he was lost. He didn't see any students, so he was just looking for somebody for directions, and he finds Blush. And the first thing Titan says to Blush is, "What are you doing, little boy?" or something about a little boy. He calls him a little boy, and this surprises Blush, and he falls off his ladder and he falls onto Titan. And Blush is mad. He's like, "Who are you calling a little boy?" Like, Titan genuinely thinks that Blush is a little boy, and they keep reminding us that Blush looks like a little boy. Like, I'm scared now.
He likes plushies. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. Jesus, why the fuck was that locker like a whole ass fucking kitchen cabinet? You know, the ones high up on the wall? That is a very good question. That is a very good question. I think it's just the size difference thing here. I think it's mostly a size difference thing.
Basically, Blush scolds Titan about how, like, why is he not in class? Like, everybody's in class, you're supposed to be in class. And basically, Titan's like, well, I was assigned a tour guide person, but I didn't see them, so I was looking for them and also trying to find my classes. And he shows Blush's little paper of who his tutor was supposed to be. And we find out that Blush was supposed to be Titan's tour guide. And they go their separate ways, and Titan is looking around the school, you know, exploring. And this is when he comes across a classroom with 2 students getting freaky. And that's literally where the story ends. It's like a very abrupt ending. Like, how are you gonna leave us off with that cliffhanger?
Or is it a couple word? I don't know, forgot, but anyways. So, we get a cliffhanger of, like, really short, I think this one is probably not done, and I pray that it never gets done, actually. Just like the other one, hopefully, never. But, like, it's horrible.
I don't know if this is where it ends, but this is where it cuts off where I'm reading the story. Now, is this story, I don't want to compare both stories, but, like, they're both weird in their own ways because
it's not as bad as the other one, because the other one was just straight up SA at that point. Right? That makes sense. So yeah, like I think the other one is way worse than this one. This one has just, like, nothing crazy going on, really. It's fine. It's fine. It still looks weird. It still has weird stuff in there, but it's fine.
The art style is not what's really getting me. It's the part about them keep reminding us that Blush looks like a little boy, and they keep like, it's like the comparisons. I understand that people love, like, height and differences and stuff like that, but it gets to a point. Why are you this big and my boy is literally a Titan and you're like a freaking ant? It's kind of alarming. But yeah, that's all I have to say about those 2 stories. I do want to hear your guys' thoughts about these stories because people bash manhwas, and these 2 are especially the ones that I see the most, especially the first one. I don't know if that's like a newer story, but that keeps popping up on my For You page now. The second one, I've seen a couple of TikToks about it, and I'm not gonna say I'm glad that I read it, but it was interesting for sure. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about these.
Okay, it's simple. They're both crazy, freaky, weird, right? But the other one is way, way worse, easily. I feel like the size difference thing's probably, like, common in the last one, in the second one. My thought is just, like, you're an odd one if you consume it, but again, I don't want to ban, and, like, really anti-censorship, so it's like, eh. But, like, it's a bit weird. Like, it's just weird. I'm not gonna, like, be like, yeah, ban this, or like remove it, or like it's problematic. But like it is definitely weird. It's definitely also weird. Yeah, I'd give it that. It's weird.